Yeah, it is disappointing for a Newmar on top of it that used to be here. And now you'll see what we found on this. This is a held over, that's fine.
I don't know, guys. This is Supreme Aire. Supreme tells me top, best quality. And then, so I got up on my ladder because I'm checking all of my trim, all of my woodwork, and just check this out.
So don't you think as a manufacturer, you would try to check what you do before you send something out there? I feel bad for the dealership because now we look like the one who's bringing up topics, which they actually been delivered this unit like this. And they just wish that nobody has an inspection. That's the deal, people.
It's RV inspection day, and today we are in Sewell, New Jersey, about to inspect this beautiful 2024 Newmar Supreme Aire 4530. Now stick around, our customer is waiting anxiously by the phone, hoping that he hears from us at the end of the day. So we'll update you at lunch and the end of the day.
All right, first glimpse, Supreme Aire. You thought that because you're spending $700, $600, $300, $100,000, even $50,000. Didn't you expect that you're gonna have your money's worth? Isn't it supposed to be new? Isn't it supposed to be in one piece? This is why we do what we do. So Supreme Aire, we're gonna see how this turns out, but I'm just gonna bring a couple of points to justify why you need an inspection even on a brand spanking new unit, whatever price range you're at. So just remember this. It's not because you're paying this, you should be delivered this of the value, don't you think? So let's go check on the other side. So right here, I'm thinking of, here's the gap that I have. This is lined up, it's aligned. It is doing what it's supposed to do. That's when I realized that the trim, whoever's in charge of putting the trim and being even, well, even if it's at the right height and line and the paint scheme all match, this is down, okay? So it's not out of alignment, but it's not lined up. So if I come in the front, which I can't move this box anymore, and if you look on top, I'm almost touching. So the way it was put together is how you're gonna be delivered. On this particular one, there's nothing I can do. So this is how it is, and whoever made the trim didn't fit perfectly in this long square arrangement. Another thing, which is a detail, but we got a paint chip right here. So something, I don't know what it is. Well, it might be the door. Now I just realized the door is probably hitting this. So details, get over yourself. You're only paying $600,000-700,000. On that note, that's what I have for first glimpse right now. Let's go check what Lowell has at lunchtime.
So come on in, let's see my stow and go and my first glimpse. So coming through with my stow and go, I think it's fantastic. I can get all the way up to the front of the cab, easily accessing my kitchen, my living room, being able to get to everything. I'm going to talk about my first glimpse because I already have started feeling things, and this is extremely loose. You can see I barely need to even touch that at all. And then going back, still able to get to my refrigerator, and I'm even able to get to the bathroom and just push this little knob right here, access my bathroom, not my shower, and then I can actually squeeze through, go to bed. And if I want a shower, I can roll over the top and get to my shower. Now, I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait for the slides to open. A broom closet, holy cow, that's amazing, and an amazing pantry. Now, I don't know about you, but I am in love with pantries. I always feel like I have the best. This looks really nice. We'll see later what I find.
Lunchtime recap. Supreme Aire. Okay, Supreme Aire. Shouldn't that inspire top? Yeah, it is disappointing for a Newmar on top of it that used to be here. And now you'll see what we found on this. This is a held over, that's fine. But it's not a reason to not stay on this. And I'm gonna try to make you understand this. Let's say they build, I don't know, I really don't know. Let's say they build 10 of those this year. All the people that worked in those, where do you think they work when they're done with those? maybe on the New Aire, maybe on the gasser, maybe they go back to the production line. Just keep that in mind, and we'll show you the kind of stuff that we find. So for instance, on top of this cap, we've seen this before. Here we are in the front. You can see that this is not even attached to nothing. They just flipped it in there. They didn't seal it. The sealing is outside. It's not even attached to the rubber like it should be here. So, like it should right here. See this? You can see that it's adhered to the rubber. And then you end up here. You're totally, absolutely nothing happened. Hurry up and go. But it's Supreme. Yeah, right. They got a lot of work to do. We've had this with the report that we have on our website is exactly the same thing. So both those corners, fiberglass is cracked. So you know what that means if you remember the story from Joe and Damani. We'll link the video above. It's a repetition of what happened before. Even the rubber seal that seals the box with the front cap, you can see there was laziness there. All right, let's go on the other side. All right, so this morning we talked about this. So this chip on the fender is actually due because of this door. So if you think about it, I want you to look at this. So you tell me that nobody at the shop, listen, when I do this, back up a little bit. Look at my fender. Look at my fender bending. Nobody saw this at the shop. Is there quality people, check-in quality people? Oh yeah, that's what we do. There might be some work to do in the quality. We don't make this stuff up. This is reality. This is what we see. I've talked about this morning, what it looks like. Just for instance, the top of this trim over there. So which is the top from the roof, and it looks like just a nice protection thing because it imitates, like on the other side, the awning. Well, there's screw missing up there. What's going to happen when the wind's going to catch in that? They saw this. Don't tell me that screw broke since it left the shop. It was like that when it left the shop. So it's all those things that we rack up, and we had a couple of issues. I'm going to mention this on this slide out. That's why I'm just talking about it. I will mention it. I don't know what it's going to end up being at Newmar, but we've done it more than once. This slide out, when it comes down on the tube and it lowers the floor. But it leans and lays right on the frame of the lower bed. So is this normal? I'm just asking. I'm not saying that it's not normal, but if you look at the other places, well, look, all in the back, nothing is touching, which makes sense. I mean, there's a tube that's holding that slide out up. So what do you think? You think it's manufacturing should be a little bit more detailed? I think so. But hey, what's the value of what we do? Well, you tell me. So let's go check what Lowell has inside.
So it's lunchtime, and I'm going to start talking about the floors, which I think are absolutely beautiful. I love that barn board look, but we definitely have slide roller marks here, as you can see, and then also right over here on this side. But continuing talking about the floors, let me take you over here in front of the pantry. So I don't know if you can notice the dip down right here, but let me just run my hand along here. Okay, so this is not really sealed nicely, but this has got, you know what? Let me just show you this video. So let's talk about this tile right here in front of the pantry. Floors look beautiful, don't they? And then we come over here and you can see right here, I'm going to turn this way, and you will notice that this tile is a step down. It's not in there properly. Not only is it not in there properly, but this seal is not even attached to the floor right here. And you can see all the way until we get to the bedroom, and then it's sealed. But all of this is not attached to this tile right here. You've got a big step down. I don't know, guys. This is Supreme Aire. Supreme tells me top, best quality. And then, so I got up on my ladder because I'm checking all of my trim, all of my woodwork, and just check this out. So I'm in the bedroom and I'm checking my slide trim. So I'm gonna take you up here so you can see what my view is. And the first thing I see is a cracked slide trim. Okay, it's just a crack. Hey, it's just a Supreme Aire. But then we get over here and we have a broken trim right here. Can you see this? This whole entire thing is broken. This is a Supreme Aire. I don't know about you or whoever, but I would want Supreme quality. That's just my opinion. Supreme, you say? Yeah, Supreme. But let's go in the bathroom. So we're in the bathroom. Pierre had opened up the egress door, and this whole trim right here is extremely loose. Now, I'm getting a good view here from the inside, but when the door is open, it really is flopping in the wind. So for lunchtime, that's approximately all I've got to tell you about right now. I can tell you it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the decor in here. I love the colors. It's really bright, light. I do have one more thing to tell you. It's those little things, right? So it's just, you know, making sure that everything is lined up and sealed nicely here. And it's tight here. It's a really big gap down here. Same thing in my bathrooms. Just paying attention to those details. To me, when something is Supreme, top quality, those are the types of things that our Supreme customers are looking for. When you're purchasing a $20,000, $30,000 travel trailer, you're not expecting things to be as high quality as when you're buying something of this magnitude. It's those things that we look for our customers, because we've already had a conversation with our customers. They're nitpicky. They want to know the details. And what do they hire us for? The details and the facts. So stick around and we'll see you at the end of the day.
End of the day recap. You're paying a lot of money for whatever you're purchasing, from 40, 50, 100, 200, half a million, $1 million. Don't you expect the quality that you're paying for? So I'm just gonna show my point again. If you remember this morning, we're talking about this slide out, kind of being tight a little bit on the top, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, if I need to go up here, well, it misaligns everything else, and where I'm laying down on top of my cupboard, all right, well, hopefully it's gonna give weight off. But just to show you how it does rub on the unit, let's check this out. So as we're going up here, you can see the paint is all gone here, all the way up here. So this slide out is rubbing as you're driving down the road. So that's kind of cool. You just got this. It's brand new. It has 1,900 miles. This is kind of new. It went from Newmar to somewhere at the back here, and that's it. It's been parked for the last year. And it's already like this. Here's another one. The door is down here. So if I try to open this door, for example, yes, you're gonna tell me it's adjustable. Okay, but it just did 1,900 miles. So I can't open this door because it's binding against this one. So in order to open this door, I actually have to open this door in order to have this one working. Yes, it's just an adjustment, but isn't that what you were looking for? It should have been in one piece, don't you think? No hot skin. Everything on the carriage is beautiful, like it should be. 1,900 miles. Brand spanking new. But if you bought this and you're thinking, okay, I gotta go to, let's say, Napanee, for instance, Newmar here. You use this for negotiation, by the way. This is not ready. This needs to be touched by somebody who knows how to realign their stuff, or maybe they can here. But a lot of time they can't. For instance, this one, the front cap, we've had this before. They're going to go back to Newmar. Those bolts up there, they can fix it. All of this alignment, maybe they can do it. But Newmar's going to get the product back. And they kind of know now because it's not the first unit that goes there. So don't you think as a manufacturer, you would try to check what you do before you send something out there? I feel bad for the dealership because now we look like the one who's bringing up topics, which they actually been delivered this unit like this. And they just wish that nobody has an inspection. That's the deal, people. So same here on this side. It just left the shop. I know things can happen. Supreme, I think it's just a word. Let's check it up there, not upstairs. I'm going upstairs. I'll see you up there, upstairs. And here's what I have for surprise. All right, so this is already disconnected from the wall because it's just been glued on there. And as you can see now, it's torquing the minute it comes in. So it unglued and unscrewed from the wall. Who's gonna fix this? Probably under warranty. They're gonna make money with this. Don't you think it should have left impeccable when it left up there? I'm just saying. So maybe there's some quality that needs to be put in check. I'm just saying. Do you think you have what it takes to become a great inspector? Just reach out. Go check our website and see if you're one of them that can join us to enjoy this RV lifestyle and living on the road, helping out people, one RV at a time. So before we go see Laurel, I wanted to show you things that we look at, things that we find. We don't challenge a manufacturer, but we give facts. So this is the perfect example of things we kind of seek because we're looking for things like this that happens once in a while. So I'm gonna have Laurel bring in this slide out. I want you to think about this. So this slide out comes in as usual, and this is a super slide out. So if you look here, right here, I used to have a gap. All of a sudden, I got no gap. Just stop, baby, 2 seconds. So now if I look at this whole trim here, this trim and this trim is supporting this. Now the ceiling, if she goes in, you don't feel it, but go in a little bit. That trim is totally being binded, and that's where it's going to be. So when it stops and it's in, as she just confirmed with the beeping, this is laying right on top of the frame. I don't know about you, but how long do you think this trim is going to last? So these are the kind of things that I'm sure you would have found. That's the problem of the knowledge. Once we know, we show people, well, yeah, makes sense. That's the thing. That's what we do for a living. We've seen some of them more than once, and that's why we look and seek for this. So all of you out there that think that, I know enough. I rebuilt a house, I know everything, I do engines. I understand, I respect that. I'm the same way as you are. It's just that habit of seeing stuff and training to have a different eye brings us to a different path in what we're going to be looking for. That's the advantage of what we do. So at the end of the day, let's go check what Laurel has inside.
So it's the end of the day, and I'm really happy to be done. It's a lot. This is a beautiful RV. It really is. But it's the little nitty-gritty things. Yes, we are particular. Yes, we are thorough. Some say too thorough. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below, if you're spending $500,000 and more, do you want someone who's too thorough or someone who kicks a tire and says you're good to go? That's not something that I can afford, or possibly you can afford. But if you can only afford $40, $50, $100, $150,000, you still want a fancy inspector? Not fancy, particular, detailed, thorough. Yeah, you do. You're spending a lot of money, right? It's your hard-earned cash, and you deserve to have what you feel is a perfect rig. But come on in here, let's talk about the shower. So I am gonna say that if you're tall, and I mean tall, Hamilton, you could almost fit in here, Hamilton, but if you are 6'7" and shorter, you're going to be just fine in this shower. Now this shower is absolutely gorgeous and it did not leak, but let's talk about the Teak seat though. So the Teak seat is extremely loose. Watch this. And this shower is gorgeous, and I do love Teak seats, but I would like a Teak seat that's not going to let me fall. So as you can see, all I'm doing is lifting this, and I don't even have to put any weight on it. And you can see that it's wiggling both sides. You can see. So definitely needs to have something that's going to hold there. I would be afraid to put too much weight on it for sure. That's going to come right off the wall. You can see that it's separating right there. Now, although I said the shower didn't leak out, what if the water went on top and was splattering because you're 6'7" and you're shampooing and the water's going everywhere? Check this out. Let's go into this beautiful shower, which is absolutely gorgeous, but let's talk about sealant for a minute. So when you come up here, it is beautifully sealed all the way around the top of this shower. Beautifully sealed until we get right behind the shower head. And then there's absolutely no sealant all the way to the side of the shower here. No sealant. So what do you suppose is going to happen when water goes back there? Don't you think it can go against the wall? So as far as I'm concerned, I would think you'd want sealant on top of that shower to protect the walls that are behind that can still create mold that we do not want in our RVs, correct? Right? Think about that. We don't want mold in our RVs. You know, man cannot discover new oceans if he can never lose sight of the shore. So get out there and travel. And remember, but do never forget,
It's not all about the destination, it's all about the journey.